So the new update on the Nothing Phone 2 showed us how the camera is not the best on that phone, which got me thinking, which phone has the best cameras under Rs 50,000? So I picked out 3 phones which are the perfect competitors in 2023: the S21Fe 888 variant, Pixel 7 and the OnePlus 11R. This is definitely the battle of the beasts, OnePlus versus Samsung versus Pixel. Let's find out which one comes out on top. If you're here for the very first time, I'm Ershad, you're watching Trakin Tech English, your destination for detailed, incisive gadget reviews. Of the 3, the OnePlus 11R has the largest sensor, and you can see that it captures a lot of details. In fact, even Pixel 7's 50MP camera captures supremely detailed pictures that are definitely sharp from the center to the corners. The S21Fe's 12MP camera is not as sharp as the other two and might be getting a little dated now. You can see the detail loss, especially around the corners. So when it comes to detail retention, I think OnePlus and Pixel do it better than Samsung. As for color reproduction, you can see clearly the S21Fe tends to oversaturate the image, especially the blues and the reds. But it does look very good. Pixel 7 has captured an image that is closest to the accurate color here. OnePlus 11R also tends to slightly oversaturate, but it's not as bad as the S21Fe at least. But since you can fix colors in post-edit, I don't think it's a big issue per se. And if you are a stickler for natural looking colors, then the Pixel 7 would be the choice for you. When it comes to HDR, all the 3 phones do a good job of dynamic range corrections, especially when there are no people in the picture. You get a good amount of details in the shadows from all the 3 phones, and the highlights are well controlled too. The highlight control looks especially good in the Pixel 7. However, in the 11R shot, you can notice some shadow noise, especially in the much darker portions of the image, but it's not too much of a concern. Moving on to pictures of people, I love the skin tones on the Pixel 7. S21Fe makes the face look slightly brighter, but it is still close to the natural skin tone of Arnav. OnePlus 11R gets it entirely wrong. The target exposure is wrong, the color saturation is wrong, the skin tones are also wrong. However, when you're shooting against the light, clearly Samsung is the best, with the right exposure on the face without blowing highlights on the rear as well. Pixel 7 underexposes, but it's not as bad as the 11R, which adds HDR bloom around the face. Now, this is a problem with many OnePlus phones. Even for portraits, I'd pick the S21Fe primarily because it's got that 3x portrait shot available for you. And when comparing the 1x portraits from the 3 cameras, the S21Fe and the Pixel 7 look the best, especially because of the skin tones. I do also really like Samsung's edge cutout. So if you're shooting friends and family, clearly the OnePlus 11R doesn't cut it. Samsung S21Fe would be my pick, followed by the Pixel 7. Samsung also nails the low light performance, especially in night mode. You can see that it pulls out more details from the darker portions of the image, especially around the shadow region. With respect to the exposure and detail retrieval, I think Pixel 7 is the next best option. It is a pity that OnePlus's algorithm doesn't do justice to the great hardware that's there within the phone. In the second extreme low light sample, the 11R gets the white point entirely wrong. The color temperature is definitely not what you are seeing right now. Pixel 7 and S21Fe are just way better in comparison. The night modes of these individual phones get it absolutely spot on with the exposure and the mood of the scene as well. However, Pixel 7 does do it slightly better. But when you do a 100% crop of the image and take a look at the sharpness and details, you will see that the S21Fe retains a lot of the details as opposed to the Pixel 7, which is slightly soft. So yeah, low light is S21Fe all the way, followed by Pixel 7 and then the OnePlus 11R. Now, talking about the ultra-wide angle camera samples, the S21Fe and the Pixel 7 have higher resolution ultra-wide angle cameras, and therefore they offer more details and sharpness compared to the OnePlus 11R, which has an 8MP ultra-wide. But the S21Fe has one advantage over the Pixel 7, and that is it has a much wider attached lens that can go as wide as 123 degrees as opposed to Pixel 7's paltry 114 degrees. As for the color science consistency between the primary and the ultra-wide, the S21Fe and the Pixel 7 get it right. OnePlus 11R gets it wrong once again. Now, when it comes to ultra-wide HDR performance, you can see that it is the best on the Pixel 7, followed by the S21Fe and then the OnePlus 11R coming in last once again. But in low-light ultra-wides, you can clearly tell the S21Fe is actually better than the Pixel 7, and of course, 11R keeps trailing once again. But the real sucker punch that Samsung provides in this price category is the fact that with the S21Fe, you get a proper 3x telephoto camera, which is not available on either of the other phones. And it's a good quality telephoto camera as well. You can see that the details are extremely sharp. And of course, Pixel 7 and OnePlus 11R's digital 3x crops don't match the performance of Samsung's proper 3x telephoto. And you know what? Samsung's victory march continues with the selfie camera as well. Just look at the quality of the picture here. The exposure, the details, and the accurate skin tones. This is the closest to what the real scene would have looked like. Pixel is a little too contrasty with the selfie camera, but it looks good nonetheless. 11R is not too bad either over here, especially with respect to details and the kind of natural bokeh drop-off that's there, but it has a red skin issue, which is a problem with skin tones. The situation is similar for selfie HDR photos as well. S21Fe selfie sample is so good, except for the slightly overblown highlights on the rear. OnePlus adds HDR bloom once again around the face and it doesn't look good at all. The pixel is good, but the contrast is a bit too much once again. Although in portrait selfies, I do like OnePlus and Samsung's depth mapping and edge cutout way better than Pixel. Pixel's portrait selfies don't really look as good. Finally, in low light, the S21Fe is absolutely kick-ass with the night mode algorithm. You can tell for yourself that this is the best looking selfie in low light. Pixel is the second best, followed again by OnePlus 11R. Seems like OnePlus is making a habit of coming in last. You can see the pattern out here. Only the OnePlus 11R has a dedicated macro camera, but it is a 2MP shooter and the quality is meh. The only way we can match the macro closeness of the OnePlus 11R with the other two phones is with zoom. But to be honest, I wouldn't trust any of these phones for macro shots. I think you would be better served with a phone which has a dedicated macro camera or an ultrawide that works as a macro. Now, all the three phones can also shoot up to 4K 60fps videos using the primary camera. You get very good stabilization on all the three and the sound quality is almost equally good. But what I noticed is that the Pixel does offer slightly better noise cancellation. But there are a couple of parameters where S21Fe again takes the lead, and that is it records higher bitrate video than the other two and therefore you get more details. Plus, the HDR quality is better too, especially when I'm standing against the light, and that's when Arnav is panning me. Do let me know what you think about the audio quality, the stabilization, and of course the image quality. Do let me know what you think of the sound recording, of course the image quality. Do let me know what you think about the audio quality, the stabilization, and of course the image quality. Even in low light video, the S21Fe offers brighter exposure, Pixel has a lot of noise, and OnePlus shoots darker footage. In ultra wide angle videos, however, Pixel has an edge with the 60fps recording option at 4K. Samsung can do 4K 30fps where OnePlus can only do 1080p 30fps. And even with respect to the quality of the footage, the Pixel footage offers sharper textures, smoother visuals, and most importantly, better HDR as well. The other advantage that Pixel 7 has is that you can shoot 4K 60fps using the front camera, and there is stabilization as well. Of course, Samsung Galaxy S21Fe also offers 4K 60fps plus EIS, but the stabilization quality is not as good as Pixel. And OnePlus once again offers only 1080p 30fps recording using the front camera. So overall, if you look at it, the Samsung Galaxy S21Fe with Snapdragon 888 would be my pick for the best camera phone under Rs 50,000. That's because it's generally very consistent, but more importantly, it also offers that extra bit with the 3x telephoto camera. Moreover, you get really good pictures when you're shooting friends and family, whether with the primary camera or with the selfie camera. The ultra-wide angle camera is good, video recording quality is trustworthy, portrait shots are good. Generally, this is a very, very good camera setup. The Pixel 7 would be the second best, of course, but that's only because it doesn't have that telephoto camera that you get with the S21Fe. Now, in many situations, I actually prefer the Pixel 7 over the other phones, especially when you're looking at skin tones. Pixel just gets it absolutely right using the primary camera, mind you. And apart from that, the video recording capabilities of the ultra-wide angle camera, the selfie camera, all of that is very, very well done. Now, Pixel 7 has also been getting better with updates, especially after the updates. The red skin problem that I had initially with the phone, that seems to have vanished completely. And generally with the Pixel 7, it is a very reliable shooter. Whenever you point it at a subject and shoot any picture, you're bound to get an image that you will love and love to share on social media as well. The OnePlus 11R is the weakest of the bunch, and that's not because it doesn't have the right hardware. It's because of OnePlus's bad processing. It's inconsistent and people pictures generally don't look good with the wrong skin tones and HDR bloom around the face as well. All of those definitely sort of sour the experience of using a phone camera. It's not a bad camera at all, mind you. There are times when you can get good pictures with it, but then Pixel and Samsung do it better. So what do you guys think of this entire comparison? Do you agree with the verdict or not? Did you have any other favorite? I'd love to know. Let me know in the comments below. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, keep tracking and stay safe.